Hi, it's Friday again, and this is our weekly message from Evangelical Alliance Ireland. It's Friday, but Sunday's coming. And we're doing another conversation, which is really where we allow you to be the fly on the wall and listen as I talk to somebody from a church, from a ministry, about what they're doing for the Lord and what's going on. And the reason is because I get to travel and meet so many great people and hear about so many things, and I would think everybody needs to hear this. And today I'm here with Jonathan Reid, pastor of Wexford Bible Church. Jonathan, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to chat with you.
Yeah. So are you from Wexford originally?
No, grew up in Dublin, came down to Wexford in 2004, married to Hazel. She's from Wexford and grew up in Wexford. So there was a reason to come here as well as the church. So.
Okay, and how long has the church been here?
So the church started, I think it was kind of at the end of the 80s, 1980s into the 90s. It started very much from grassroots in Wexford town. A couple, Mick and Bernie Breen, came to faith and then started having Bible studies in their home, inviting their friends along. Their friends came to faith, and it kind of grew out of that. They eventually called a pastor and began meeting as a church, and so it grew from that. But I mean, I've only been involved since 2004. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So was that difficult coming and getting involved and just, you're coming into a new church culture and everything else?
Yeah. I grew up in Dublin. My dad was a pastor of a church in Dublin, and it was a church plant.
Mm-hmm.
So I was used to kind of small church and church not in a church building, and church where everybody mucks in and everybody's involved from the beginning. So it felt very similar to the home church that I had grown up in Dublin. And so initially when I came in 2004, I came in as assistant pastor. So Michael Breen was the pastor, and so I was very much working alongside him and learning the ropes from him. And so that continued until 2009. When we planted a church from Wexford into Gorey. And so in 2009 then, Mick left to head up the church plant into Gorey, and I became pastor in Wexford at that stage.
Okay,
yeah.
And what to you are what's the distinctive things about the church? What is it that, every church has the things they have in common. But it's like DNA, isn't it? I think we're 98% or 99% the same DNA, but the 1% is different.
Yeah.
What for you is special about Wexford Bible Church?
I mean, I know there are other churches that major on community and building community and stuff, but I do think that's one of our strengths in Wexford, is just being a genuine community of believers and being involved in one another's lives and loving one another well. And so I guess what I really loved about the church when I first came into it was just the way lots of new people would turn up from week to week. And they would be friends of people in the church, and they would be their neighbours, their family members, that kind of thing. And so there was a real kind of naturalness.
Like organic?
Yes, organic, yeah. A real organic growth to it in that sense. And that I found very attractive and appealing in coming in. And so I suppose I've tried to continue that, and for us to be a welcoming place and a place where we have many people passing through and we have many people coming along. And so to help them almost feel a sense of belonging before they believe or before they come to faith, which I hope they do, over the weeks and months as they're here.
Yeah, that's the story I'm hearing from so many churches, because it used to be in the old days where we would preach to people and they would believe and then they would come and belong.
Right.
But it's sort of gone the other way around now. People see something in the community and they say, I want to belong here. Yeah. And sometimes the believing takes a while to come.
That's right, yeah. And I think people need to feel like, this is somewhere I could belong, and almost thinking if I was to commit myself to this, this is what it would look like in my life, you know. And so to be close enough to other people and friendly enough with others in the church that they can almost imagine themselves into what it would be like to believe and to commit to Christ before they do.
Yeah, and I mean, and for me, that's a testimony that you're doing something right, because church people only invite people along to church if they think they're going to get blessed.
Right.
You know, otherwise they just wouldn't bring them. So your people in the church to be inviting people along, they've obviously got confidence in what's happening in the church.
Yeah, I think so. So. Yeah, and yeah, like you say, that is good, and I mean that's as much down to the other people in the church as to the leadership setting the tone. And it's about encouraging the people in the church to maintain those relationships in their community. And so, it can often be a tension as a church where you want to be putting on events and you want to be getting people out to meetings and stuff, but you also want to give people freedom and the space to nurture friendships and grow in those friendships with people from their neighborhood or family and so on, so that they're genuine, so that they have people to invite, you know.
Now, obviously, we're in a changing society, Wexford as much as anywhere else. What for you are sort of the major challenges you see now ministering here at Wexford, and the major opportunities, or maybe they're both the same?
I mean, the challenges are similar, I find, to all around Ireland, in a sense, in our society, and the way society is moving away from faith and becoming more secular, though that has opportunities as well, you know, and it does mean that as a church where in the past we maybe wouldn't have got a hearing, now we're one of 10 churches or whatever, and on an equal footing with those churches, and so can get a hearing where in the past we mightn't have. But yeah, in terms of the secularization of society, it just is becoming less and less a warm place for Christians and for faith and for belief. We have a book table that we run in the marketplace on Fridays in the Bullring Market in Wexford town. And it has been interesting over the years just to see, we have Christian books on it, and we stand behind it and we're there all day, and it's very much about people coming into the market, coming over, having a chat, and maybe buying a Christian book or just having a chat. And it has been interesting to see over the years where when we started it, a lot of people were engaged with it, and we, a week wouldn't go by before you'd have at least one or two really good conversations.
Right.
Whereas now that's less so. It's less so, and you can go a week or two without any kind of really good conversations, and people seem to be just that little bit more dismissive and slower to come over once they recognise it's something to do with Christianity, and so that can be a challenge. I mean, where we have benefited is because we've been there for years, and we've been there since 2010, I think, at this stage. We have a great relationship with the other traders.
Okay.
You know, and so those relationships with the traders have been built over the years. So there's a lot of really good friendships there, and so we're part of a community of traders, and that brings its opportunities. Whatever about the general public coming into the market.
Now, I've been down here today holding an event with yourselves, and one thing that struck me was there seems to be a good number of young people in the church as well.
Yeah, we have quite a few young people. I have 4 daughters.
But look, I've been to churches where the pastor's 4 daughters, and that's the youth.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying.
No. I mean, I'm just giving an example that there are several large families in the church, which is great. And we do try to cater towards the youth, and we have youth club, we have a good news club, and we have a young adults program as well. So we do, and as a church, you were asking me about the DNA of the church. I mean, we do have a value in terms of families and children, and we try to include them as much as possible in the services and in the activities of the church. So we're having a children's service in 2 weeks' time, where the kids kind of get to be up front and get to express their faith in their language from the front, and they love that, and they love having an audience, and they love the Sunday school teachers work with them on that, and they take part, and you know, in the infrastructure of the church as much as possible, and play in the music group and so on. So it is about including them and making them feel valued, I think, as well.
Now, you meet here in a local school, which again is a testimony that you have the contacts in the community. Because not every school is open for a Christian group to come in.
We have a great relationship with the school here. It's a Gael school, and so it's the school that my 4 daughters went to. So the relationship, first of all, was as a parent with children in the school. And it was only after that, we used to meet in another community centre. We outgrew there, and in talking to the principal here, they said they were open to us coming in, and we've had a great relationship. We've been here 12, 13 years, I would say, at this stage. They're very generous towards us and allow us great use of the building, and we have a summer camp here as well for a week in July, it's a great opportunity.
And if people like listen to this or watching this say, hang on, I know people down in Wexford town or family members or whatever, presumably there's a website or something we can go to.
wexfordbiblechurch.ie.
wexfordbiblechurch.ie. Okay, great. Look, this has been my first time coming down and meeting with you and everything. Really had a great time meeting some of the people from the church, and just really pray God's best over you. And thanks for taking the time out to do this little chat as well.
Sure. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back next Friday. It might be Friday, but Sunday's coming.